Hey folks, it's Trina here, executive and leadership coach for mission-driven women leaders who find themselves stuck in the leadership exhaustion and depletion cycle and are looking for ways to work and lead and have impact in a way that's sustainable long term. So if that sounds like you are in the right place. I'm glad you're here. And if this is something that you're struggling with and you know you need some more support with, I want to encourage you to get the free Sustainable Leadership Guide, the 5 mistakes that most mission-driven leaders make that lead them potentially to burnout and how to avoid them. So if you'd like to get a copy of that free guide, just click the link below this video and you can get a free copy. So today we're going to be talking about the difference between needing to take a mental health day versus a longer term sabbatical. So have you ever found yourself in this particular situation? So maybe you have been working a lot or you found yourself sprinting on a project and it's finally over and you decide to take a mental health day. And this is one of those days where, you're not physically sick, but you're feeling drained and tired. And maybe on that mental health day, you decide to sleep or rest or to go out, or maybe you tack it on to a weekend. So you have a longer weekend just because you need time to rest. And a lot of times, or if you're really busy, maybe you're a parent, maybe you have to do something with the kids or extra doctor's appointments or whatever it is. And oftentimes what happens when you take a mental health day is you take the day and you go back to work feeling refreshed. You realize, hey, I just needed that time for myself. You get back in there and things go back and you go back to work and do what you need to do. But there are some times when you take a mental health day and you realize, oh, wow, this isn't enough. I need way more time. There's other things going on here. And so at that point is when you might want to consider the fact and possibility that you might need more time off or some kind of sabbatical of some kind. Now, there are jobs that will offer that for some people. Sometimes they won't. But just to begin to even thinking about the possibility that maybe you need something more than just a mental health day or a vacation. And that's one of the things that I would encourage you to think about as a result of this conversation is, do you need a mental health day? Like I said, just one of those days where, hey, you had a lot going on and you can get right back into things. And it's more than a vacation, but you realizing, hey, I have a lot of things happening. I'm feeling really overwhelmed and, burned out, or I'm on the brink of burnout and I need to take a step back and I need more uninterrupted time for myself. So if you find yourself in that question, a sabbatical might be what you need to do. And, I certainly had to deal with this, and I know a lot of my clients have gone through this. It's not an easy decision, but I think more and more people are willing to make that decision given, what's happened with the pandemic and everything else. And when you're in this position, there are a couple of questions that you want to ask yourself. One is, and when you're deciding, do you need a mental health day versus do you need a sabbatical, is when you take a mental health day and you go back to work, do you need more time? Do you feel like, okay, I've had this long sprint at work on a project and I just need a day or a couple days off and then I can get right back into it? Or do you go back to work feeling like that was nowhere near enough time? There's so many things going on. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling depleted. I'm feeling exhausted, and this is not working. The second question is, what is causing the need for the break in the first place? And so this is a question that I really encourage you to ask yourself is, what's going on beneath the surface that is causing you to need to take this day in the first place? Now, if it's just a mental health day and that's all you need, then great, no problem. But if there's something more that's happening, you need to ask yourself what's causing it. And if it's around work, a sabbatical might be what you need. And this is the kind of thing that I help my clients through all the time, particularly as a leader, because you reach that point in your career where maybe you've never had a break or time off or a long extended period off. I know that certainly was the case with me some years ago. And so when you realize that, you find out for yourself that, hey, I've never had a break and I need to take a break. And so I just encourage you to be honest with yourself and figure out what it is that you need, and get the support that you need to make the decision that would be best for you moving forward. Okay, so that's all for today. Again, so we were talking about the difference between taking a mental health day versus a sabbatical, and how to know which one you need. And so if this is something that you're struggling with or you're grappling with, I encourage you to get the free Sustainable Leadership Guide. Again, it's below this video. It's a great place to start. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. Take good care, and I'll talk to you soon.